just want to ask, so for the people that are here to buy or want information about buying, what do you think is the biggest reason you haven't bought up until this point?
Credit.
Life.
Okay, when you say credit, do you think that your credit score won't get you a home? Have you actually talked to anybody about it? Because like I said, a lot of times people will talk among themselves and not realize that lenders have different programs, and sometimes they can even help you. They'll put you on a like a plan to help you.
Like the plan you were supposed to get sent that you said you
Yeah,
never
exactly.
got?
This is the first year I ever, instead of just thinking about it and telling myself I don't qualify, this is the first year I'm actually taking the steps to see and work through it. So I did reach out to a broker who's supposed to send me a list of what I'm supposed to go through or what I should do. But that's what I need. I need just a plan to tell me what I need to do. So I'll do it.
You're doing the
I
right
just
thing.
need a
I
plan.
mean, that's kind of why I asked that question, because that's the biggest reason, right?
Because I don't think, I know I probably qualify for a program or two. I know I probably, and then I also have money to put down. Like, I'm good at saving the money to get there. But
now, when you
it's
say you
all
talked to
credit.
a broker, did you speak to a loan broker or a real estate broker? Which broker did you
I believe
talk
it was a loan broker.
Okay, so that's the correct one to talk to. I was wondering if perhaps it was a real estate broker and that's why he hadn't gotten back to you.
No,
But if it was a loan, that was the correct person for you to talk to.
and he kind of like, he just told me the beginning part, like if I'm planning on the house being this much, or if I get qualified for this amount of loan, how much to expect to like put down with the first time home buyer, and then how much to expect for like closing costs. But sometimes they'll be able to get the seller to pay a portion of those costs.
Right.
And then we also discuss like making sure you have money put aside for whatever inspections that are needed.
Reserves. Oh, yeah, for inspections. Yeah.
So we talked about all of that, but I'm waiting for the list of what I need to do. And I know my credit is not horrible, but I know it's some stuff on there. I just don't want to pay all the stuff that's on my credit. So tell me what I need to pay.
Okay, let
You
me
know?
tell you this. Let me tell you this. You're gonna have to pay somebody.
I know.
If they can.
But I don't want to pay the stuff that ain't gonna make a difference, you know?
You might have to write a good letter of explanation, but you might have to end up paying it. And you have to look at the bigger picture. Are you gonna let a couple $100 that you mad about that you don't want to pay hold you back from getting a property? You know.
So what I've actively been doing now is making sure that I pay stuff on time to prevent any, because late payments hurt your credit more than anything, and plus the debt to credit ratio also. So I'm like, I'm trying to do those things, but I'm like, I need a list of what I should be doing.
I got another for you. Sure.
Okay.
You are in the right place.
Okay.
I got mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
the
all-
biggest thing is credit for me. That's the biggest hindrance.
Shanice, you said life? Okay, so what does that mean?
Life be lifing. I was actively trying to buy a house a few years ago, maybe 2 years after my husband passed, and then stuff just happened. It fell through. What happened was the people, it was a little bit after COVID, they were an older couple, they were gonna move to Texas, they were gonna sell the house, we were already in contract, but the husband got sick and went to the hospital, and then the wife didn't know what to do. And so they kind of like pulled out, and I was like, oh God. So I kind of felt like, damn.
Got
maybe,
discouraged.
Right. Which was cool because I was like, okay, I would just wait, find something else. But it was other properties I seen before that I was like, okay, this is not gonna be cool, or I probably can't get this one. And right before that, I was in contract again, and you know how they gotta pull your credit again right before? I fell below. So I, was accepted
Did you
for
buy
all that.
something while during that period of time that made your credit fluctuate?
You said, did I buy something?
Yeah.
No, but I think what it is them dang on student loans, which I thought was gone because they emailed me and said, you've been forgiven. And then I got another email later on that said, oh, disregard that email. Like, no, they're not. I'm like, oh, Lord. So, yeah, so I got to get that going off of there. But, yeah, it's a lot of student loans I have.
Well,
But, yeah, life was life.
what I say, let me just say this. I tell people, why not buy something? Because people always be like, oh, I'm gonna rent. Because you gotta pay to live wherever you live. So either you're paying rent or you're paying a mortgage. So you may as well pay the mortgage because at least, you know, you're investing in yourself. And when you get ready, like I gave the example before of, well, let me just tell my story like I usually do. Okay, I bought my house in 96. Yeah, November of 96. I bought my house for $130,000. My mom passed away in 2022. And at that time, I did an analysis of my house just to see what it was worth and see what her house was worth that my grandparents bought in 1952 for $10,000. And so when she passed away, and this is generational wealth, I did the numbers on her house, and her house was worth $1,032,000. My house I bought in 1997. It's around the corner, so same neighborhood. I bought mine for $130,000. My house is worth $1.1 million. And this is just in Oakland. This is not, this is in Oakland, but on the Emeryville border. It's not no mansion. I don't have no gates. I don't have nothing. I just got a nondescript house right there, you know. And that was, but, you know, like I was just talking to Gina about my daughter. And she says, how old is she, 29? And yeah, and I bought my house. I was pregnant with my daughter when I bought the house. And the time just flew by, you know. It's been almost 30 years. Well, it'll be 30 for me this year. And time just flew by. But, you know, I paid my mortgage every month. Just like when I was in an apartment, I paid my rent every month. And, you know, it's like day after day, week after week, month after month. So I may as well pay myself. And so like now, I've refinanced a couple of times, but I have that option. If I need some money, I can refinance.
You wouldn't be able to do that if you were rich, right?
Right, and
You know what's so funny? It's like owning a home is a vehicle to wealth, like you said. It's so crazy how many things you can do. You don't even have to pull out. You don't even have to refinance.
right.
You can open up a HELOC and never touch your interest rate, and just that's like a credit card.
It's like a debit card.
And
If you
can
want
use
it,
it
exactly.
to buy more property or to fix up your property.
And that money, that interest that you paid, you can talk to your tax professional, because we're not tax professionals, but talk to your tax professional, and you can properly take it off your income tax. And see, another thing people trip about right now is the interest rates. I'm so tired of people, oh, the interest rate is 6, oh, the interest rate is this. You know, like they know what they're talking about. You really don't know what you're talking about.
Why do you feel that way?
You bought your house.
When I bought my house in 96, I had 2 loans. I got 100% loan. At the time, CalPERS, you could pull money out your purse. And so I pulled 20% out of my purse. My interest rate was 6% on the first 80%, and then my extra 20%, which was my down payment, was 8%, because they make you, because it was second, and so a second is always a little higher. So I was paying 6% and 8%.
When people tell me they waiting, and I ask them why, and they tell me the interest rates, like you said,
They don't know what they're talking about.
it's irritating, because at the end of the day, right, and nobody know where interest rates gonna go, which way, up or down, any day of the week, right? But we do know they fluctuate, right? And what I do know is that price of that home is gonna go up.
Exactly.
Right? So the longer you wait, you're gonna pay more for that house, and you never know where the interest rates are gonna go. So I tell people, lock in your price. Because that house that's $700,000 right now, if you wait 18 months, it's gonna be $750,000. It's gonna be but if you lock in that price and then you wait and then rates go down, you can always refinance and get a lower rate.
My interest rate right now, I'm mad about it because my loan officer dropped the ball. But my interest rate right now is 3.1. It would have been 2.75. So I'm a little salty about that.
Okay, so why is it an adjustable mortgage interest rate?
It depends.
It's not fixed, it doesn't stay the same the whole life. of
It
the
depends on
house?
what loan you get. You have to,
Right.
you work that out with your loan officer, whatever is, works for you at the time. You may go into a property on an adjustable because it'll get you in.
Right.
But see, all you trying to do is get in. And then once you get in on that adjustable, I had an adjustable for a short period of time, and then you get in and then you refinance into a fixed rate.
And then you got situations where they allow you do like what they call like 3-1 buy downs, 2-1 buy downs, right? Where you put a little bit of extra money up, and that rate, say you got a 6% rate, right? That first year your rate is 2% lower than what it would be, so you're only paying 4%. And then that second year it goes up to 5%, and then that third year it goes up to 6%, and that's where it'll be, you know. So that those first couple of years gives you a little bit of time to pay less. And prepare for that 6%
Hopefully
rate.
save that
And
money.
it'll
Right.
help you get into the property where
Right.
you might not have been able to before. So, I mean, it's a lot of different nuances.
Is there a way to like get into the property, but like, for example, I see 30-year fixed, right? But I don't wanna spend 30 years paying for this house, right? Like, my personal goal is to have my home paid for before I retire. So how do you manipulate, cause I hear people say, oh, well, in the middle of the month, you pay another payment that'll only go to your principal, or you do, like, they say these different things on how you can
Okay.
manipulate your payment.
Okay, what you do is you get your payment,
Mhm.
say your payment is $1,000 a month.
Okay.
You can add to that if you want to. And so, what you're talking about is I've heard where people pay half and then pay another half, and so that it looks like you're paying two payments. But see, let's say, like I said, your payment's $1,000 a month, and hopefully it will be amortized, and it will include your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance, all in one payment. And so what you can do and you'll get a coupon, you get a bill, and it has little sections. And so if you want to add additional principal, so like you might have extra money this month, or you may regulate yourself to do it every month, but you could just add another $500 and specify you want it to go to the principal, or you can specify you want it to go to your escrow account. Now your escrow account will be the account that taxes and insurance and well, not the interest, but the taxes and insurance is held in, and then like taxes are due, property taxes are due now. The last day is April the 10th, and so I have to pay property taxes for my grandparents' house because I don't have a mortgage on that home, so I got to come out my pocket with the money. But for my own house, since I still have a loan on it, and I'm making one payment that bundle all of those, the principal, the interest, the taxes, and insurance is all bundled. So every month they take a 12th of and put that aside to go into my property tax. So on April the 9th, because they always are to the wire, on April the 9th, they're gonna take out of my escrow account the money for my taxes and pay the accounting for my taxes.
Oh, so they're taking all of the money in a lump sum and then they're putting it in separate accounts
You
so
have to answer
that
that though.
people could.
Now, what can happen though, but what can happen is because we know at election time, you voting for extra money, go to the schools, the paramedics, you didn't pay your garbage bill, all that kind of stuff. Right, so those prices can fluctuate, and then you may not have enough in your account because they took all those extra stuff out. So then you will get a letter, and they'll tell you your escrow account is short by, say, $500. And either you can pay the $500 and your payment will stay the same, or they can break that $500 into 12 and add it to your payment, and then your payment's gonna be a little higher.
That's why people mortgage be increasing, cause they don't put enough into their.
But sometimes, like I said, you don't
Okay.
know because of the measures and stuff.
And pass and stuff that's
The
not
taxes.
affected.
That's why when I see everything that say increase, 1% that increase for taxes, I put no on everything. Shit, I'm paying enough as it is.
Yeah.
See, and it makes a difference for homeowners.
It does.
Cause we see it as, it's just gonna be
A penny.
you paying $40, it's gonna raise it a tenth of a penny.
Mhm.
And so that's only gonna put you up to maybe $41 now,
Right.
but it adds to your bill.
Right.
But it doesn't add, but it also adds to my bill as a renter in the stuff that I buy.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Because
And then too, and if your landlord increases the rent, because if they have a mortgage on that property and they're depending on their rents to pay for the mortgage, then they gotta raise their rent.